All right, Shalom.
Well,
First and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Chakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutation and much love to Yakim out there pushing out his word and truth and sincerity. Well, we're the brothers from Great Millstone, Tampa, back with another weekly sit down. Lord, as well as edifying. And, we're just going to go in the spirit. I entitled the video Current Events and Prophecy. And there's a lot going on right now in the Middle East, all right, with Israel and the Palestinians, the Israelis and the Palestinians, Gaza, all right, Syria. You got like it's still going on over there in Ukraine, okay. So here in America, the pipelines, so-called cyber attack, a lot of things that's taking place. So, but the main thing is the mark of the beast, being set up so that or the stage is being set, so to say, to make mandatory or the hour of temptation. Okay, that's being set, and once that beat the mark of the beast they push it out mandatory. All right, where they cause it all, both small, great. When that comes to fulfillment, everything else is going to go quick. All right, it's like a snowball effect. But nonetheless, you see all these things brewing. As the Lord said, war. You shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Okay, so Bubble Shot brother can grab Isaiah 34, and we'll start at the top because a lot. The Lord is he's letting you know what he's about to do, man. He's setting up the wars because in the midst of World War III is when the Lord's going to return. So the stage is literally being set before our very eyes.
I got that Zechariah 9 too.
Huh?
So I got that Zechariah chapter 9 too.
Okay. Somebody get Isaiah 34 first.
It's the book of Isaiah 34, verse 1.
Yep.
Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all the things that come forth of it.
Yeah, there you go. So the Lord, off rip, he said that come ye nations. All right. So ultimately, at the end of the day, that's why the Lord told Jeremiah, I believe it's the first chapter. He said, "I made you a prophet unto all nations." All right. Not only because our people are sent, or what's the word? Spread, spread out through all nations, or been Dan, what's the word? Deuteronomy 28, I think it's 64.
All nations.
What's up? Say it again.
That you shall be scattered to all nations.
Scattered. That's the word I was looking for. Thawada. Scattered. Yeah, we've been scattered through all nations. So that's why the Lord made us prophets into all the nations, because we got to get our people, or bid them to the marriage, so to say, from all these different nations where we've been scattered through. But also is to warn the heathen of their coming judgment. But keep going, brother. I just want to get yeah, just keep going. Yeah, go ahead.
It's the book of Isaiah 34, starting at verse 2. For the indignation of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter.
Right. So the indignation, it said the indignation of the Lord is upon all these nations. So that's why, was it Joel 2 or Joel 3? It says the Lord is gathering them in the valley of Jehoshaphat, which translates to Yahushua, the Lord's judgment. So the Lord is gathering all these different armies, as you see what's taking place now. The scriptures say the least shall draw them out, the least of the flock shall draw them out. What's going on over there in Israel and Palestine? This shit is about to erupt, man. They're blowing buildings up. Like they blowing 30-story buildings up, bro. Sirens ringing out throughout the day. Okay, all kind of shit is taking place out there, and that's just what they show you on TV. Shit's still popping off in Syria. Shit's still going down in Iraq. All right, Iran still got tensions with Israel. Okay, so now we see how the Lord is setting the scenario up for everyone's going to have to get into the Middle East. Because who's a guard? Because Palestine, really, even all the countries in the earth don't even recognize Israel as a state. That's another topic. But you go into it, a lot of countries don't even recognize Israel as a state. right? But let alone Iran is butting heads with Israel as well. This was what 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks ago. Still saying shit with Syria. All right, so there's a lot happening out there in on the other side of the world, so to say. Well, we understand Babylon the Great is here in America, but it said that the indignation of the Lord, meaning righteous anger. All right. Well, matter of fact, a brother grad in Joel where it says he gonna get in the valley of Jehoshaphat, gather the nations. Grab that real quick, and then we'll keep reading because verse 2 is again. It said that he had utterly destroyed them. He had delivered them to the slaughter, and like that brother from England always says, man, World War III is gonna be a meat grinder, bro. Any man going out there on his own will, any man or woman, because we are living in 2020, the year of equality, for everybody. So men and women that get sent out there, whether they be willingly or drafted, they're not coming back. They're gonna be tossed into the meat grinder. All right, just like Esau does with the chickens. To make chicken nuggets, just throw the whole chicken head first into the meat grinder. Well, that's what the Lord is doing. Is going to do with these different nations, all right? Because it's not just going to be Esau out there by himself. It's going to be Esau, Ishmael, Elam, Moab, all right, and Ham, and so on and so forth. Go ahead, whoever got it.
Joel chapter 3, I'll start at verse 1. This for behold, in those days, in that time, I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for me and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
Right. So now perfectly so that the Lord is making the showdown, so to say, the beginning of the showdown go back to our land. Why? Because this is dead. Our land was stolen. All these different nations that are going to be brought into that valley. All right. Or all the nations that did wrong unto us went above and beyond, to chastise us in the sense of just doing some unlawful acts unto our people, man, especially Esau, Edom. All right. So the Lord is gathering them there to the slaughter. That the place of slaughter really is going to begin in the valley of Jehoshaphat. All right. The Levant, the Middle East, whatever you want to call it. You turn on the mainstream media right now, or any kind of media is gonna allude to something in the Middle East taking place right now. All right, so that's how we know, man. The time of deliverance is nigh at hand, man. Because the destruction is taking place, and it's only going to get worse and worse as we go on, man. You see how people freaking out over a pipeline that was down 3 days. Now it's back up today. As they said at 5 p.m. they was able to turn it back on, but it was a cyber attack. So it ultimately is the Most High making these moves. But Esau, he's doing this and that. But it said the will of the Heavenly Father, obviously. All right, so all these missiles being flying through the skies out there in Gaza and what else? Jerusalem, bro. The shit is going down. That's how we know that's not the people of the Lord. First and foremost. All right, because this what the brother just read hasn't happened yet. It's happening as we speak. If the true people of the Lord was in the land, first of all, there wouldn't be no damn heathens in there. Second of all, there would be peace in there. So the Lord, just like Esau chooses to systematically break down America, the Lord is systematically breaking down Esau's kingdom, point blank and period. But was that it, my yum, or you have one more verse on that?
No, that was it.
Okay, go ahead, Malachi, read that. Keep going on verse 3.
This is the book of Isaiah 34, verse 3. It says, their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
Yep, because it's gonna be it's gonna be it's gonna be a death. They got over here in America, Death Valley. What is it, Nevada? It's gonna be over there. It's gonna be Death Valley, bro. There's gonna be dead bodies everywhere because it's not gonna be conventional war. There will be troops, boots on the ground, as they say. Them niggas are gonna die quick, bro. Again, if you get shipped off over there, you are not coming back, guaranteed. It's going to be a lot of dead bodies. A lot of people ain't even going to make it off the boats, off the planes. All right, because remember, going back to I believe it was World War II, the beach Normandy over there in France, or Normandy. I forgot exactly what they called it, but it was Normandy Beach. What happened? A lot of them dudes didn't even make it off the boats, and this was 1940, 40 something. So in 2021, how do you think somebody get Isaiah 9? You know, this is easy, man. People are gonna you niggas. Esau's not stupid. He's using the military as nothing but sacrifices, really. All right, getting rid of population, and the scriptures even tell you the virgins shall be made bride. How does it go? Widows, you know, so on. I think it's Ezra 16, maybe. You got it?
Yeah, I have it right.
Okay, go ahead and get that.
Second Ezra 16, start at verse 33. Second Ezra 16, verse 33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The woman shall mourn, having no husband.
Mm-hmm.
The daughter shall mourn, having no helpers. Point 34 says, "In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed."
There you go. It says so. We go real quick. We're gonna read that last verse again, but it said in the wars. Read that first line again of that verse, and then go back to the previous verse.
Second Ezra 16 in verse 34 says, "In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed."
In the wars, the bridegroom's gonna be destroyed. So all these guys that have women, all right, or fiancés or whatever, you got a woman. Period. Your women are gonna be made widows very soon, or your women gonna be single very soon, because a lot of dudes, they're gonna be A, forced to go out there, or B, they're gonna volunteer, just like going back to literally 20 years ago. What happened? Niggas was lining up to sign up for the army, lining up to sign up for the Marines after September 11th. Remember when something happened to America, and there was niggas lining up. The Army Reserve, little stores or whatever you want to call it, they had lines outside of niggas that wanted to go fight. Oh, we need to go defend this country, blah blah. Whoop-de-whoop. The same. Some Esau are going to concoct another bullshit event to make people A, go join the military, or B, be forced into the military via a draft. All right. So, but this time you're not going to come back. You know, there's going to be a bloodbath out there, and you're just going to have to die. But go ahead and read that again. The first verse.
Yep. Second Ezra 16 and verse 34 says, "In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and the husbands shall perish of famine."
Mm-hmm. The husbands perish of famine. So let's say you do have a man and he don't get drafted. Well, he probably gonna die of starvation. You know, because a lot of women, they're gonna be out here alone. Because what in the time of battle, you're not finna send women over in a world war. Okay. So what you're gonna get the men, and that's why they're gonna start doing drafts, because before they start shipping women over there by the boatloads, they're gonna have to get every able-bodied man to send them to the Middle East. Even though you got women in the military, they're gonna go. But before they start drafting women, they're gonna draft every able-bodied man before they send the women. So a lot of these guys are finna die, man. World War III is brewing. All right. America is going down as we speak, going down in flames. The house is burning. All right. The money is no good no more. There's a lot going on right now in the world. That's why through the spirit, we were talking about this at the camp. One of these days, some big event is going to happen. It's going to change the face of it's going to change the world. Just like last year when this whole pestilence came out. Well, it was about the end of March, maybe April, sometime in April, when shit really started happening. This time it's gonna be quick, man. It's gonna be a devastating blow, so to say. But that was it on that.
Yeah, that was it.
Kind. Go ahead. Go ahead. You got it.
This brother said made a statement earlier about those people over there calling themselves Jews being the chosen people of the Lord, and they're not. And this is proof right here in the scriptures. Isaiah 60:18 say, "Violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders, but thou shalt call my walls salvation, and thy gates praise." Okay, so right now, them people they have an Iron Dome for a reason, because they're getting bombed on the daily. They said that they had a video saying that if 50 missiles get launched a day, about 30 of them get stopped by the Iron Dome. Okay, so they still getting attacked. There is no peace in that land.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a clear number one example. Those are not the people, man.
Yep.
Okay.
And that, real quick, I want to add that Iron Dome. That shit is old. I remember seeing that shit before I even came into the truth. It was like 2013. Some Jake had shown me a video of that shit, of the Iron Dome. So, and that was what, 8 years ago? Yeah, 8 years ago. So imagine how much more advanced it got now. But see, that's why the scriptures say about the missiles and going back to Joel chapter 2. That ain't see, because now you see these conventional missiles being stopped by the Iron Dome. They blowing up in the sky. In that time, America is gonna be destroyed. Ain't nothing gonna stop the missiles. And Israel, the state of Israel, is gonna be destroyed via thermonuclear missiles. Thus saith the Lord. The Bible, the ones they say they're the people of, right? Well, the Bible says that one's gonna be destroyed, man, with the wicked in it. Yeah, just wanted to add that because I remember seeing that shit years ago, and I was like, man, whatever. You know, at the time I was a nigga in the world. I was like, whatever, man. Why you showing me this shit? But that shit was real. I was like, man, this can't. You know, watching the videos 8 years ago, I was like, man, this shit ain't real, man. But now it's actually happening. You know, the Iron Dome. You know, which I don't know if it's ever been used before, but which obviously it had if they had the footage. But now look. Now is the time for them to really be using it, because what Esau knows that the Lord is gathering the nations in that area, man. Because remember what, maybe not even 2 months ago, less than 2 months ago, the whole deal with Iran and Israel, and now Israel and Gaza, which are the Palestinians, you know. So and they still saying they shooting missiles into Syria. Israel still shooting missiles into Syria. So Israel just setting America up, really, because, you know, that's a welfare state. They get millions, if not billions, if not trillions of dollars a year from America. So, you know, we see this is clearly leading to the situation we want to lead it, you know, to be coming. Everything that's taking place is really something that the Lord told us was going to happen. Wars, rumors of wars. This is by no coincidence. I'm not saying World War III, the nukes is going to fly overnight, nothing like that. But this is a catalyst to speed things up. You know, this has to happen. Israel's going to play. The state of Israel is going to play a major role in these last days, and with the wars and the rumors of wars. All right, because everybody around that region fucking hate them people, man. Iran hates him. Jordan hates him. What else? Iraq, Jordan, Syria. What is it? Lebanon? All them people hate that state, you know, which that's not biblical anyway. The state of Israel. But you got more on that up?
No, but I got another quick one, real quick.
Okay.
Going into that area, that land. This is Zechariah chapter 9, and I'm gonna read verse 5 and 6. Zechariah chapter 9, verse 5 says, "Ashkelon shall see it and fear. Gaza also shall see it and be very sorrowful, and Ekron, for their expectation shall be ashamed, and the king shall perish from Gaza, and Ashkelon shall not be inhabited, and a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines." So who's that bastard that's dwelling in Ashdod, man? You know, going into the wicked, man. All right? They say, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines, man. Who's bombing each other right now? The Philistines and the Israelis.
Right. Which Nah, bro, I was gonna say which really, like I said, Basher, Shadel, and Ashdod. Really, none of those belong in that land. The Philistines, or the what they call them today, Palestine. They call them Palestines. Just go back to the Philistines. Those are not the original Philistines. First and foremost, most of those are Arabs, but you do have Jake in there, of course. You got Jake mingled amongst them, and then you got Edom, and of course you got Jake mingled among them. But predominantly, who are the ones ruling them regions? You know what I'm saying? So, see, the Esau got y'all. Esau got all these other nations in the trick bag, and they starting to realize that's why they starting to shoot missiles on these niggas, man. These people are sick of Esau. Well, read that again, Baba Shaw.
Just verse 6 or both precepts?
The last one, yeah.
It says, verse 6, Zechariah 9:6, and ambassadors shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines.
Yeah, cut off the pride of the Philistines, man. That's why they get bombarded. The IDF, the Israel Defense Force, that ain't nothing to fuck with, bro. That's one of the most advanced militaries out there. Yep. So hey, but you know, that's going back to the old world or the ancient times. But now look what's going on, man. Israel could easily wipe out the Gaza Strip. You know, easily. They got nukes. You know, they that's one of the, as far as technology, you know, they got their shit on par, so to say. You see what, like the brother mentioned, the Iron Dome, but that's an invisible fucking dome over them that blows shit up, blows or intercepts missiles, so to say. They not no fucking low level military. This is why they've been getting millions or billions, if not trillions, from USA for decades now. You know, so this is why the scriptures say that least shall draw them out. The least of flesh shall draw them out, man. And it's working perfectly. The Lord set it up perfectly, man. Everyone hates Amalek, okay? Everyone hates him. Their own people hate him. Esau, Edom, they despise Amalek. The rest of the tribes of Esau, they hate Amalek, man. That's Gog and Magog. They hate him. All right, you got a lot of Edomites out there in Saudi Arabia as well. You know, you got a lot of Edomites in Egypt. You know, different nations out there in the area, in that region, that are the same people, different tribe, and they hate them. Which this is going to Deuteronomy 30:7. The curses, your eyes shall be evil towards your brother. Shit, the Esau's always hated his brother. So now that the curse is getting onto him, it's even worse. You know, going back to the Greek Empire, what happened after Alexander the Greek died? His four main generals, or five, what happened? They got rid of one nigga, first of all. That's why it became four. And then what happened after that? They was always fighting against each other. So this ain't nothing new, man. Esau is the, me and my young were talking earlier, this is the basis of man. And look at him. Even with all this technology, this man can literally make the earth a greater place, but he can't. The spirit in him is not upright. This nigga hates himself. He hates his own people. He'll bring this whole planet to the brink of destruction, just so a few of his people, very few of his people, can live good.
Yeah, they show you that in the movie Tenet. I don't know if brothers have seen it, but the Esau, basically that was the bad guy, so to say, in the movie, was purely Edomite. His whole thing was he had a device put in him that if he dies, basically everybody on the whole earth would die, and this man was going to kill himself because he said all because his wife divorced him. He said if I can't have you, then nobody can. So you gotta watch the movie, but he was gonna kill himself, and everybody died, and that's what he said there.
And that's Esau's MO. If I can't have it, no one can. That's why he goes back to the job when he gets fired and kills everybody. You know what I'm saying? This is this man's status. Well, look Look at with Cain and Abel. He said, "Look, if I can't have the good blessing, then God damn it, ain't nobody gonna have it." You know what I'm saying?
That goes into the blessing. It gets the Lord took the blessing from him, so he's like, "Well, if I can't get the blessing, then nobody can." So
That's
now
what I'm saying.
he's going to try to replace everybody, and basically, like the brother said, he hates himself because we gave it up, basically, But he just, like the brother said, man, he just wants to do away with everybody because in his eyes, if he can't have the blessing, then nobody can, and only he will.
Mm-hmm. Which makes him a sore loser. And if a brother, real quick, grab the etymology of loser. Go to the etymology of loser, and we're going to see who the biggest loser on the planet is. We brought this out before a couple of times, but let's get it.
A loser, mid-14th century, a destroyer.
There you go, man. Does not the scripture say destroy them that destroy the earth? Who's the biggest destroyer? Who's the biggest loser on the planet, man? The nigga that destroys everything. Destroys the water, destroys the air, destroys the ground, destroys the damn it, he destroys your minds, man. Go ahead, though.
It says convicted criminal.
Oh, well, shit. This nigga's the biggest loser on the planet, bro. So, hey, the big losers are Edomites, bro. Go ahead.
It says one who habitually fails to win.
He's a habitual loser. He continues to lose. So, because going back to Cain, he lost. Going to Esau, he lost. Jumping all this thousands of years ahead. This nigga's still gonna lose. He's a habitual loser, bro.
Cain, he lost his Cain. He lost his Esau. And he's gonna lose now. The enemy that's Esau.
Hey, look at Haman. Look at Haman. He was a loser, man. He tried to destroy Israel, and look what happened to him. He got destroyed. He's a fucking loser, man.
Alexander died at an old age. He didn't get to rule that long.
Yeah. He, with 12 years. That's a pathetic. Which like the apostle just did a video. I forgot which apostle it was. He was moving fast, so he was, the Lord set him up to do all these things, but quick, 12 years. That's shit. 12 years. That was nothing. He was a loser, bro, because he was destroying a lot of things, Hellenizing people, but he was sucking up to Israel because he grew up under Israelites, the scholars and whatnot that told him about showed him in the scriptures in Daniel, but nonetheless he was a fucking loser. Nonetheless, he was an Edomite. Look at the men that he left his empire to, even bigger losers.
Right. Hey, and then the Roman Empire fell.
Yeah.
And Jake was the one who revived it.
Yep.
The Roman Empire fell. Jake got up in there and started ruling, and they created the Holy Roman Empire. It was a continuation of it, but they started to they had to bring it back to life, and Esau then took that from them.
Keep it going. They kept it going.
Yep.
Until the time for the. What?
That was it on the word loser.
Okay. Yeah, but hey, like bro said, the Roman Empire, and look, now is the biggest losers on the planet in the history. The Edomites ruling now. The people, which are the same Edomites that ruled before, of course, but this is gonna be their biggest upset, the biggest loser moment for Esau, or for anybody at that, because not only is he trying to, somebody get that in Matthew, going back to Matthew. Let's get Matthew 24 where it says the time shall be shortened for the elect's sake. Because what? If not, this loser would fucking kill everybody, including his own people, just blow the earth up, blow the moon up, and just move to Mars. If it was left to this nigga, this loser, he would just blow everything up, bro. How did he get trains from the east coast of America to the west? Blowing shit up, blowing through mountains, blowing through this, blowing through that. This nigga's a loser, bro.
The movie Planet of the Apes, they tell you that in the Forbidden Scrolls. They tell you he shall destroy his and your home. That's Esau. Beware the beast man.
Yeah. For he's the devil's pawn.
Hey, but I got that Matthew.
Okay.
All right, it's Matthew 24 and 21. But then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. and except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved.
There you go. There would literally. This is not symbolically, or it's not a parable. That the Lord was saying that literal. and in that time, Esau didn't even have the half of the things he has now to destroy the earth, man. This nigga got machines that will plow through fields or forests and just eat trees up. I remember that there was a cartoon movie where damn, I can't remember the name of it, but it's an old movie, probably from the mid 90s, around there, the late 90s. There was a movie where they had the machines going through the forest, and I can't remember the name of it. It was the toaster movie. I remember it was the toaster came alive and shit. It was the old movie, but nonetheless, Esau just wants to destroy everything. He'll mow trees down. He'll mow a whole goddamn forest down, and then plant fucking grass and trees over it. Or he'll do this, you know. So this nigga it's not reason. He's not reasonable. Or what's that scripture say? Avoid unreasonable men or something like that. This nigga is the most unreasonable person ever created, but the Lord created him specifically for a job, and his job, the time frame, the contract is running out for him. All right, like you hire somebody. All right, look, I'm gonna hire you for 2 years. Like you get an NFL contract. All right, you got a 2-year contract. You know, after them 2 years, you know, you out of here. This nigga, his contract's running out. That's why in Revelation it say he knows he had but a short time, because deep down inside Esau realizes in his spirit that his time of being a loser, the biggest loser on the face of the earth, is running out. He's not going to be a loser in the kingdom because he ain't going to be destroying anything. He going to be in subjection. And rightfully so, because this man has poisoned everything on the earth. Most importantly, the minds. That's why with the image of the beast, man, it's such an important thing to understand what that really is. You have to really understand what the image of the beast is, because that's what has destroyed everything on the planet. You could say, I mean, you can look at it in the physical aspect, that how he's destroying everything, the air and the water, but the biggest thing that he's poisoned and destroyed is the minds of everyone. The minds of all nations, all people. Everyone has drunk off of this cup.
Right. Hey, I got a quick one real quick. This is to back you up, and then the brother got one. This is Revelation 11 and 11, or verse 8. It's 11 and 18. Revelation 11 and 18 states, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And that's primarily Esau. He's the one that's spearheading the nations and his people to destroy the earth. He's elite. So the Lord's coming to destroy them that destroy the world, man. Even the trees, the scripture say that the trees are going to rejoice.
Yep.
Because this devil's going to be put out of the way, man. When the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. When the righteous are in authority, the people shall rejoice, man. So that's what this devil got to go, man. There's nothing good about this devil. And the nations are now starting to wake up to that. Now they're saying in this heart, there's something funny about this dude. Yeah, that's why in Joel chapter 2, it says that his stink shall go up in the air. Talking about what his business out there in Saudi Arabia, you know, which that land barren and desolate. Okay, talking about his stink shall go up in the air because of all his wickedness that he's doing out there in that area. Man. And we see it right now. Now we starting to see people retaliating. Okay, got that one. No, let me finish this one and then get the Revelation. All right, I'm gonna go back to Matthew real quick. Matthew 24 and 22, it says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. See?
No.
These days are going to be shortened because it's going to be that bad up here. Because Esau is to destroy the world, and he's
He would rather destroy the whole earth and kill everybody, like the brother's been saying, than to see the elect rise up and get the blessing, man. But go ahead with that revelation. This is why the scriptures study these things. This is why this is written in the book of Revelation, Revelation 12 and 12. Go ahead.
This is the book of Revelation 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
See, that's why the days have to be short. Days have to be short, because if not, bro, Esau will kill literally everybody, bro. Jake will be through out here. Everybody gonna die. You know, if the Lord don't come back and deliver us. You know. But you got another one? Or somebody got something?
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah. This Habakkuk chapter 2, and I'm gonna just get right to the point. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, you know, and as the brother's going into, you know, this man was designed to be a destroyer, man. You know, it's not in him to do right, man. You know, he was programmed just to be evil and to be wicked, man. So his soul, which is lifted up, you know, is not upright. But the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgresses by wine, going back into how the brother spoke about how not he just physically destroyed things, but he destroyed the people's minds, because everybody took a sip of that cup, man, drunk of that wine. All right, and that's how he transgressed, by wine. All right, reading on, says he is the proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death. So that's the desire of Esau, even the so-called white man. All right, it's hell and death, man, and that's what he brings forth. Everywhere he goes, he brings forth death and hell, man, and that's his desire. That's his true desire. That's all he knows how to do. He doesn't know how to create life. All right, he has the means to do so. He has the resources to do so, but instead he uses that technology and that wisdom, all right, to pretty much kill, man, to destroy. All right, it says he cannot be satisfied. Why can he not be satisfied? Because he's a carnal man. And if you know the flesh can't be satisfied, man. So this man is completely walking in the flesh. He's carnal as hell, and that's why he can't be satisfied. Now, it's not a spiritual a bone in his body, man. Especially dealing with the right hand side. On the left hand side, he's spiritual as hell, man. But on the right hand side, it's not a spiritual a bone in his body, man. Okay, it says, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Right, was basically going back to Babylon, man. Gather unto himself all nations, heapeth unto him all people. Okay, and that's what he does. He likes to bring about nothing but confusion. All right, when you gather all nations together and heap unto yourself all people, you bring forth confusion, because the Heavenly Father, he divided the nations and gave them his inheritance. But Edom goes around and gathers unto himself all nations and brings death into his desire is hell when he come within your nation, man. Okay, that's pretty much. I'll read 6. It says, "Shall not all these take up a parable against him?" All right, because why? He's built this path, and as the brother saying, the nations have drunken of their wine, and the nations are angry. So this is taking up a parable again. All his ways is coming back to bite him in the ass, so to say, man. Okay, it says, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his, man. Okay, a straight robber, man. It says, how long unto him that leadeth himself with thick clay, all right, building up the innumerable amount of debt. Okay, and it's up to him. He don't have to answer nobody. He don't have to pay that debt back, man. Talking about Babylon the Great, aka America. They don't have they're what's happening is they're starting this third world war right now, because they trying to put themselves in a position. They saying we're not paying that shit back. All right, we're not gonna pay nobody back this money. We just gonna start a war. You know, just he don't think he gotta pay that shit back. Just gonna accumulate all his debt. Like, oh fuck that, I ain't gonna pay these niggas back. I'm just gonna shoot these niggas. And that's what Esau Edom. He's the ultimate nigga, man.
Yeah.
He is a true nigga, man.
Yeah,
You know?
that's how you can tell that America or countries in general are corporations. America specifically, but all these nations, they're all corporations. Because when you have a business, a corporation, you have to go to the bank to get your money. America gets their money from who? The elites. America is nothing more than a corporation. They get their money from the niggas that run the world. And like the brother just said, oh, they're trying to default on their payments, get back down to zero. When you default on payment, you back, you down to zero, so to say. You don't have to pay it. But this shit is. So go ahead.
I said that's why you gotta crash the system and the money.
Because they're gonna the lender, the lenders, or so like the recipients from the main lenders, which is the banks, they getting their money. Yeah, sure, they good, but they have taken that money and gave it to all the Americans, so to say. So they can, just like the bailouts that have took place 2008, that's taking place a couple times in the last decade. What happened to the big corporations? They got for what it was in forbidden. What was it? They got there was a term for it. Bailouts. They got bailouts. A nigga in the hood didn't get no bailout. So now they're giving you some money, making you think that you getting bailed out, but at the same time, the rich is getting richer and the poor is getting poorer. But at the same time, they're giving you money. So you do the math. If they're giving you money and you getting poorer, what do you think the people with the money is doing? The people that own the money. So it's. I mean, at this point in time, if you believe in the government and you think that it's going to go back to the pristine, the glorious America that it once was, the Roaring 20s. Well, what happened? Well, was it the Roaring 20s or was it
Roaring
Roaring 20s? Right.
The Great Depression. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, the Great Depression was the late 20s or 30s?
The Depression 29. Yeah, it started around 29 and it ended around 30, 33, 34. But that's when, like brothers mentioned, World War II really started to kick off.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was getting to. So they had to run the whatever, So everybody was living good. Niggas was living good 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Now you see what happened. Because with the World War III or World War II started in 2025 or something like that, 26, something like that. America didn't get into was it in the 30s though? It might have been in the 30s. I think it ended in 41 or something.
It was like 33 was when Hitler, 33 or 34 when he went and took over some nation, and then that's when the shit popped off around the world.
God, that's when the war actually started. But as far as when it ended, it was like in the 40s or 41 or something like that, 40 or 39.
September 1st, 1939.
39. That's when it ended.
It started 1939 and it ended September 2nd, 1945.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, okay, because I could have sworn it was sometime in the 40s, but nonetheless, they were living good prior to that. So now you go into the history of what was going on during World War II here in America. They wasn't living good like that. And this is where it's transitioning now. See, because Biden, they set Biden up. You forgot what Biden did during the Obama administration. This nigga was the one giving the green light, giving the green flag, whatever you want to call it. He was the one that wanted to invade such and such countries. People will talk about Libya and to blame Hillary, but wait a minute, Hillary was the Secretary of the State or some shit like that, whatever her bullshit title was. But the nigga that was making the shots or calling the shots was Joe Biden at the end of the day. He was the one saying that we should invade it. We should invade it. So now you've elected the nigga that was what's the word? He was the one that wanted to invade certain countries. You know, because Hillary Clinton, yeah, they said Benghazi, what was that, Libya, all that shit that was during the Obama administration. Look, Hillary only had so much; she could only advise things. Okay, was that shit had to go up the food chain, and it went up to the vice president. So see, a lot of people don't know that, and now you elected him in. So what was the first things he did? Talking about removing troops from Afghanistan. Where they at? Them niggas still over there in the Middle East. They might have left Afghanistan to another Middle East country. You know what I'm saying? This was the perfect devil to come through, you know. And now you got this whole separation in America with Trump starting his own political party. They still talking about Trump. I seen this, heard this earlier today on the news. They said these niggas going hard, bro. They saying that not only did Trump get robbed, but he should be president. Something's about to happen big, bro, here in America. Some kind of civil. It might not be a full blown out civil war, but it's gonna be bad, bro. You see what niggas do when a nigga gets shot down by a police officer. What do you think Esau is gonna do when Trump declares his own presidency or secession or whatever may happen? Which is nothing new under the sun. You know, things that were done aforetime, or how's it go? Things that were before before shall be done. Something roughly paraphrasing. Brothers, get that if you got it, or if you want to get it.
Yeah, this is real quick. I think it's called Ecclesiastes, correct?
Yeah, yep.
1:9. If you got it, go ahead.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes.
Yeah, 1:9.
Yeah.
All right, Ecclesiastes 1:9. That thing that has been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun.
There you go, man. So all these things are being repeated. All this shit happened in the ancient Roman Empire. All right, happened in the ancient Greek Empire. Esau, he's a man of repetition, if you will. Okay, this nigga has nothing new. He comes back with the same shit every time. This nigga loses a game and comes back the next game with the same tactics. This is who we dealing with, the basis of men. He gonna do the same shit he did before. This nigga Esau, bro, again, he's the basis of men. The Lord gave him a spirit just to do the same shit over and over, just in different ways, with more technology, more power. You know, the Greeks had this power, the Romans had more power, and so on and so forth. So this nigga ain't bringing nothing new. That's why we in the best, us Lord's will we those men, we in the best position, because we already know the outcome, we know why, we know how. In the big picture anyway, we know these things. He did it before, he gonna do it again. This nigga, he's not original or nothing. He's a thief first and foremost, so he can't make up nothing new. He has to go back to what he knows works. It worked in the Greek Empire, it worked in the ancient Roman Empire. He gonna do it again. This nigga is tacky as hell, bro. Go ahead.
Got a precept for you. Job 20, verse 22. Job 20, verse 22, because you was going into how, he gonna do the same shit, and we could pretty much see, man. All right. Job 20, verse 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in strait. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. You want to speak on that, bro?
Go ahead, Op.
All right. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Because right now, Esau is reaching, man. He's reaching for that new world order. He's in full stride. All right. He's in full stride, reaching towards that new world order, man, to pretty much declare the NWO. That's why I said we always bring out that scripture where it says the devil's coming down, having great wrath, because he knows that he has but a short time. All right, because Esau is at the apex of his kingdom. He's the richest he's ever been. All right, and he is able to achieve that through this pandemic, or through this scenario we got going on. Because why? How is it that during the pandemic, all right, the rich got richer and the poor got poor? Okay, millionaires became billionaires, and in the midst of all this, the Bitcoin went up. So you had insiders that became they were millionaires, they became billionaires. All right, so the rich got rich. So right now Esau is at the fullness of his sufficiency, man. All right, but the elect, we see the big picture. We see exactly what's going on through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It has been revealed unto us, so we can see Esau is striving, man. He's reaching towards the new world order. He's in full stride, man. Full steam ahead, man. As the script, as that saying say, full steam ahead. So it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straight. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him, and we're at that stage now. These nations are rising up against him, man. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him.
Hey, real quick, the pinnacle is going to be when he makes the mandatory chip. When the hour of temptation comes along, that really is going to be the pinnacle or the sufficiency. All right, because what all the nations are going to have to fall under that. Even though they're gonna ultimately come up against them, they still gonna have to fall under that, getting the chip, because the scriptures say in Revelation 3:10, by the hour of temptation, he shall come upon the whole world. He hasn't done that yet, so he hasn't reached, the full bar, so to say, or about to get to the full bar, because the scripture tell you that before he filled his belly in the same book, so. Right now he's like at 88%, 96%, and he's gonna get to like 99.9% of his enterprise to set up the new world order, because everything is being set up. You got the Internet of Things, the market of beasts has been out for decades. Okay, the contactless payments everywhere, or his agenda is being pushed forward. So everything is in play for him that he believes that he's doing, but when he goes to push that market of beasts and he makes it mandatory and say, look, you can't buy or sell this and that. Okay, well, that's when the Lord's going to step. That's really when the Lord's going to step in. And it's the steep decline from there. Because really, that's the end game. It ain't getting niggas a damn jab. That's not his end game, because you've been getting jabs when you was a kid. Niggas been getting jabs for decades. Niggas still got a big ass marks on their arm. Going back, if you was born in the 60s, the 50s and 60s, you got a big old circle on your arm from the tuberculosis shot or whatever the hell it was. So his end game is not just giving you a vagination. His end game is getting you the mark of the beast. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when you sell out, or so to say. That's when you take that, you physically and spiritually declare him as your God, because you can't do nothing if you don't take it. So that's you declaring him as your God. Right now, we still have the liberty. There's people that got the vagination that got the same rights as us. They ain't nobody got nothing has changed just yet. But it's gonna come a time, if you don't have this, which is the mark of the beast, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing. So that's gonna be when he declares that. We don't know yet how he gonna do it, but we clearly see how the stage is being set. Once he does that, the Lord is gonna make his move, so to say, because ultimately it's the Heavenly Father at the end of the day making these things, But that's when we know that when there's a day that's when people tell us as men of the Lord that we can't do nothing because we ain't got this and that, then we know that this man has reached not the pinnacle, because the Lord is going to stop him before he reaches the pinnacle. He's not going to get to the what do they call it, the top of the mountain, what's the word for it, the summit. He's not going to reach the summit of what he plans. All right, the summit means you made it to the top of the mountain, you put your pole, you put the flag, you left a picture, whatever, like people do in Mount Everest. The Lord's going to stop him right before he reaches the pinnacle. Here it is, this nigga's footsteps away from putting his pole down on Mount Everest, and then a snowstorm just comes and blows him off the rest of the mountain. That's what the Lord's going to do with him. And it's going to be in a way of bringing what you see is brewing up right now. That's why the wars, the rumors of wars, is so important, because when the chip hits, that's what's going to bring this shit so swiftly, because the Lord's already brewing this up in the background. And then when the Lord allows Esau to make that MOB mandatory, it's already too late for Esau. You know what I'm saying? The Lord has already got the next step coming, you know. And you see what's going on. America's finished. The Middle East is popping. Russia is already getting in that old spirit, the hook in their mouth, pursuing the Ezekiel 13 or 38. So Esau not going to get to reach what he really wants to do. And that's what the Most High wants. He wants him to just get like you just imagine you running a race and you in first place, and then you like 3 steps away from breaking that ribbon, getting first place, and then somebody just comes and clotheslines you. There's a fucking mean ass clothesline, just bow, and then you out cold, just hit the back of your head, hit the ground. That's what the Most High is finna do with Esau, man. He's just gonna take him out right before he crosses the line. And then it's all chaos, destruction, missiles, chariots. You know what I'm saying? So Esau, he really, that's why the scriptures say the pride has deceived him. Because the Lord put that in his mind and think, okay, gave him all this technology, gave him all these abilities to do this and that, and deceive the nations for thousands of years, hundreds, if not thousands of years. And now look at this nigga. He's going to get stopped right before he finishes his enterprise, man. Right before he sets up everything he's wished for hundreds of years. Going back to even before Albert Pike. This nigga is going to get stopped. It's like hitting a brick wall. You know? And just look at it like cartoon, like Coyote and Roadrunner. This nigga Coyote was smacking to them brick walls and just get pancaked. That's going to be Esau, man. He gonna run into a trap. The snare, the pit that he laid, he gonna fall into. Go ahead, though. You had more on that, brother?
No, brother.
If I can say, he just read, Job says in the fourth of his eventually he shall be in straits, because again, brothers went into, Esau's been given an impossible task. Or gave a perfect man an impossible task, because again, his pride, he thinks he can achieve it. The Lord said, no, you can't do it. He says, oh, I think I can do it. So going into, again, pride has deceived him. Ultimately, he's in straits because he doesn't have time. Balls are closing in on him. That's why you think about in Super Mario, when you run out of time on the clock, you got to finish the stage, and you just start speeding up. So that's what's happened here. It's just starting to speed up. Because again, his timing is up. The Lord knows that. Going into the really think about these nations getting ready to make war against him. That's how you know that hedge that the Lord gave Cain is almost expired. Because if the Lord said, there's going to be a hedge about Cain, they're going to take vengeance on him. You start receiving vengeance sevenfold. If I slays Cain, receive vengeance sevenfold. And at least anybody should find him and kill him. So everybody again going into Jeremiah, Babylon in that golden cup. So nations are waking up and realize who this man is. That's how you know who time is up. And it's not really golden. It's gilded. Gilded is pretty much like a thin layer of coated gold. And eventually the rest of start going through. That's his thing.
That's right. God. Go ahead. Anybody got anything? Any other scriptures? Any
yeah. Psalms 37, and I'll just get right to it. I'll read it. Psalms 37, verse 7. Rest in the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who's prospered in his way, because of the man who brings wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. And that's what we're doing. We're scripture say, ye that are troubled, rest with us, and we're comforting each other with the word of Yahweh. When he returns, he won't judge us. He's supposed to keep us out of that power. And how do we know? Because the things are leading up to the day when he's going to do it. Scripture say, when these things come to pass, lift up your head against God's nothing. All right, continuing on, verse 10. For yet a little while, and all the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider this place, and it shall not be. Verse 11, but the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in abundance of peace. And that's what happened. We was going into this in class in the book of Daniel, all right, the 7th chapter, and in Revelation, all right, but specifically, chiefly in Daniel, 7th chapter, All right, it goes into the kingdom. All right, being translated into the saints of the Most High, man. Okay, everything is getting led up to the meat promised by Yahweh Shem Yahshua to inherit the earth, man. For all these things, what? Jacob's trouble, World War III, everything we're speaking about, taking place on the planet Earth is leading to that day of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Verse 12, it says, the wicked plotted against the just. That's what this whole chapter is, man. It's the plot, okay, ultimately to come up against the elect, because what he knows about the remnant, he knows about those who wholeheartedly believe in Yahweh Shem Yahshua. You just don't know who they are. You see, because Revelation, the 7th chapter, goes into a great movement. All right, it says, and Manasseh upon him with his teeth. Verse 13, this is point, the Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. You know, so the Lord, all right, Yahweh Shem Yahshua is going to laugh at this devil, man. So ultimately, starting off in verse 7, what it said, rest in the Lord, fret not thyself because of him who brings evil devices to pass. We don't have to be afraid nor fret ourselves, because ultimately it's prophecy that's being fulfilled so that we can receive that eternal weight of glory, man. Our life is
Okay. Yep. Hey, let me go to the comment board real quick. It's like, okay. Yeah. Well, what was the last scripture you just read? Make sure I don't put that back.
Psalms 37, verse 14.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, this brother put it in Psalms 37 and 21. Brother Azariah, I believe. Shalom, Yahweh, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom. He said, the wicked borroweth and payeth not again, but the righteous showeth mercy and giveth. Right. You know, that's because, hey, that's what the Lord had Esau do, man. Because what that's what Esau do to you, man. This nigga is the demon. He's a devil. All right, the righteous showeth mercy and giveth. The wicked borroweth and payeth not again, man. I mean, that's the MO for Esau. If you ain't know about it, you better find out. You will find out the hard way if you don't believe this shit. Let's see if anything else here. We'll read this last one and then we'll close out. If anybody got anything else? No? Okay, let's go with this brother. In his likeness, Yasharallah, Job 20 and 23. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating, right? Because that goes to show you that he's not going to he's not going to finish his food, so to say. He's going to still be eating, trying to still build up his kingdom. He's still going to be trying to set it up, finish his meal, so to say. You know, Esau is not going to get to, he's not setting up his world, his new world order. We living in the first stages of it anyway, because technically what we living in is the beginning stages of the new world order, or the transition, so to say. And that's the shit. The Lord's going to come back before that transition ends, and then the world is going to transition into the kingdom of the Most High. By default, the kingdom of his only begotten son Yahushua and his elect. All right, trickling down to the rest of the Israelites. Okay, so that's what it is at the end of the day, man. Esau's finished. All right, Esau going down, then Yahweh Shem Yahshua is coming up. The elect is coming up, because that's what you're gonna see. Yahweh is not gonna come back to you and tell you this and that. You're gonna see his men. And they're going to tell you, and you're going to believe it or not. And if you don't believe it, then so be it. They shall know it through death by pain. Okay, let me see what else. Yeah, we can go ahead and close out on that. Unless somebody got something.
Yeah, I got something real quick. Going on to Esau real quick. We can close out on this one. This is Job chapter 15, and let's get to the point, verse 21. It says, a dreadful sound is in his ears, and prosperity the destroyer shall come upon him. Right? That destroyer being Yahweh Bashem Yahweh. Okay? And the Lord's gonna get ready, is getting ready to come back to disappoint him in his prosperity, man. While he thinks he's about to fill his belly, as the other 3 chapters in Job say, Okay, chapter 5, chapter 21, or chapter 20. Okay, the Lord is getting ready to come back and disappoint him, man. To destroy, it dreadful sound is in his ears. What's that dreadful sound? This tune that we playing. You know, the prophets. The sound of the Heavenly Father getting ready to return to strip him and make him bare. Okay. Oh, yeah, let me continue. It says, verse 22, he believeth not that he shall return out of darkness, and he is waited for of the sword. You see? It
Hey,
says,
what chapter is that?
That's 15.
Chapter what?
Job chapter 15.
Okay, 15. Okay.
He believeth not that he shall return out of darkness, man, for he is waited for of the sword. That's what's waiting for Esau right now, man, is that sword. Okay, because the sword was once upon us. Those they who was not meant to drink of that cup had surely drunken. Okay, but now that sword is going to be passed on to Esau. Now that sword is going to be upon him instead of upon us. Okay, blessing. We're about to receive the blessing if we continue to the end, man. But the wicked is going to be disappointed, and that's pretty much it on that.
Yep. I got one more scripture to back you up. And the back that precept the brother brought out in his likeness, Yasharallah, Job 20 and 23. This is Psalm 17. Psalm 17, verse 13. He says, Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. From men which are thy hand, O Yahweh, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. That ain't talking about Jake. God damn it, what do you leave to your kids when you die? Bills, debt, grief, right? Verse 15, it says, As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness. I mean, that's plain and simple. That's a psalm of a prayer of David. That's the whole chapter is beautiful, but you know, the main point was verse 13. It says, Arise, O Lord, Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, which we know who the wicked is, who the one that bears not the sword in vain. And, you know, so even before, when King David was putting Edomites in subjection, he was still praying for this. So tell me that's not a prophet, man. And tell me we're not living in them days where we need to be delivered from the wicked. King David said, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Tell me we don't need to be delivered from the wicked. There's the most high sword, man. I was a prophet indeed, you know, like Yahweh said to about Nathaniel, which was Bartholomew, but he said Israelite indeed, you know what I'm saying? But you know, nonetheless, hey, anybody got anything else? Any more precepts, closing statements? Yeah, kind of. You know, so you know, hey, Lord's word is edifying, man. Just pay attention, man. Just, you know, we give you what's going on in the world. It's up to you to look it up and don't take us for face value, man. If you don't believe us, then go look it up yourself. We're not making things up. We don't benefit from any of these videos. We don't benefit from lying to you. We don't benefit currently from any of this. Our benefits coming spiritually and through salvation, Lord, is what we just meant. So it would behoove you to trust in men that have no carnal reward or no instant reward, so to say, because we will get a carnal reward. We're gonna get new bodies, of course, but we have no instant reward in the society. We don't plan on moving up on the food chain. None of that. We just telling you the truth because we trying to seek out our own salvation. Okay, with fear and trembling. So, you know, hey, Lord's word is edifying. But Babal, first and foremost, we're going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kodash. Hey, double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, who were well. much love and salutation unto the Akim out there pushing out his word and true sincerity. And salutations as well to the men, women, and children learning in obedience and correctly and directly under the men of the Lord. And, and we almost out of here, man. Just take heed because the Lord is nigh at hand. The return of the Lord is nigh at hand. I mean, our job is to warn you as messengers of the Most High, Lord, so we those men. I mean, we can't do much more for you, So with that, shalom.
Shalom.